Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitatvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakhatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are analyzing the Mahavakya of the Chandogya Upanishad from Sadvidya, Tat Tvam Asi. So it essentially, after giving the example that Eka Vijnanena Sarva Vijnanam Bhavati, knowing one thing you can know everything, and it's possible to know everything if I know the Karanam, the material cause for it, then all the products are nothing but the cause itself in a different form. Just as the gold itself in different forms is the ornaments. So it is a gold becoming into ornaments is given by the scripture itself. So one example, that is Ekena lohamanna sarvam lohamayam vijnata vacharambanam vikaro namadeham lohamicheva satyam, and yatha saumya ekena mrutpindena sarvam munmayam vijnata vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam mrittikicheva satyam, and yatha saumya ekena naka nikrantanena sarvam kashnaya samvijnata vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam krishnaya samityeva satyameva. So here three examples are given to provide that it is not a reversible transformation or a irreversible transformation. The one becoming into many is essentially a transformationless transformation. It is as though it is transforming, but it's not really transforming. And these are the clear beautiful examples given by the scripture. Therefore, there is a transformation but no transformation. You see, it's gold remaining as a gold, and still varieties of names and forms of the ornaments are there. Ring is different, bangle is different, necklace is different. The differences are due to the attributes of the ring are different from the attributes of the bangle and the attributes of the necklace. So these attributes of each one, they do not belong to the gold. So same way Krishna says is Maya tatamidam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina mastani sarva bhutani nacha aham tesha avastitaha. So nacha aham tesha avastitaha, even though all beings are in me or rising in me, yet I am unaffected by them. Gold can say all ornaments are in me, but I am unaffected by their avasthas, their states, in which the ring can be undergoing all sorts of modifications, but gold remains as a gold. Therefore, these are the very beautiful examples by the scripture itself gives, and that's how the creation is. So therefore, after introducing these three examples, then Uddalaka, the teacher, tells his son Swetaketu, oh my dear, this is what, if you know the cause, if you know the material cause, then all products are nothing but the cause itself in various forms only. So the creation is nothing but creating various forms for which we give a different name for different forms. So Nama and a Rupa. But Nama and Rupa, there is no substantive of that other than the original substance, that is essentially the cause from which they came, by which they are sustained, and into which they go back. And same way, the creation is also explained by Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prem tabisham vishanti tad vijnasasva tad brahmeti. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, it says from which the whole universe came. Yatova imani bhutani jayante, from which it is sustained, yeta jatani jivanti, and into which they go back, yat prem tabisham vishanti, and tad vijnasasva. I had to know what that is. Therefore, inquire into the nature of what is the cause for all this. And that inquiry has to be done according to the Shruti only. So, taking the Chandogya Upanishad, here the Acharya condenses the whole Upanishad, whole chapter of Sadvidya in the sloka that we are doing. The sloka 253 says, Mrutkaryam sakalam ghatadi satatam mrunmatrameva bitaha Tadvat sajjanitam sadatmakamidam sanmatrameva khilam yasman nasti tataha param kimapi tat satyam sa atma swayam tasmat tat tvam asi prashantam amalam brahmadvayam yat param. So analyze the first two lines. Is mutkaryam sakalam gatadi satatam mrunmatmam eva abhihitaha. So if I look at the pot, every part of the pot, inside, outside, I think nothing but the mud alone or clay alone. So first I say there is a pot. So this pot is different from other pot. So all differences of varieties of pots I see, and I look at one pot and say, what is this pot? Then if I examine closely, I find that it is not different from the mud or clay from which it came, by which it is sustained. I cannot remove the clay and give you a pot. So pot is nothing but the clay itself, in and through, everything is, every part of the pot is nothing but a clay. So essentially, so abhitaha, that means all over of the pot is nothing but clay. Mrunmatrameva, it is only the clay only in a different form or in a modified form. Tadvat sajjanitam sadatmakamidam. In the same way that Uddalaka teaches, what was there before creation? It says Sadeva Saumya idamagram asid ekameva advitiyam. Existence alone was there. There are no other names. Existence itself is infinite, and if you go to Google, what is existence, all theories are there, but here is the scriptural Vedantic statement. Existence exists that which supports everything else, because it says existence alone was there before creation. Before itself is a concept of time, but is only for a teaching. It says what was there before creation, but once the creation starts, because creation itself is anadi, so anadi means there is no beginningless and also endless. Therefore you cannot have a time concept there. It's only for the for teaching's sake the before has been used there. So Tadvat sajjanitam sadatmakamidam. So the whole universe is born of Sat only. So what was there before? It is Sadeva Saumya idamagramasid. What was there is the pure existence, which is Ekam Eva Advitiyam. Three words are used. We mentioned that one. Essentially, Shankaracharya interprets as Sajati, Vijati, Swagata Beda Rahitam. That means it is one without any comparison, because it's being infinite. There is nothing to compare, no other Jati, no other the Sajati or Svijati, and even Swagata Bedas also. Swagata means internal differences cannot be there, because it is infinite. Infinite cannot have any parts. Parts cannot become infinite. It's mathematically illogical. Therefore, infinite things cannot have any parts, just as space cannot have any parts. And therefore, tadvat sajjanitam sadatmakam idam. So idam, so once I established that existence alone was there, then the teacher goes, that existence is of the nature of consciousness, by saying tadaikshata. That means it saw. So seeing is done only by a conscious entity, and there is nothing to see there because it's only one. Therefore it is a consciousness itself. It is of the nature of consciousness, and that's supported by another statement of Mahavakya, where it says Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is Brahman. Therefore existent, which is of the nature of consciousness, so existence is same as consciousness, and it is of the same. That means existence was existing. That means existence is not a non-existent. It is existent consciousness, and that is infinite. Therefore Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is infinite, and these are all samanvayam. That means self-consistency in the teaching of the Vedanta. So sadatmakam idam. So that existent consciousness decided to become many. Why did it decide to become many? We mentioned that it's because of the karmas are ready to fructify, are ready to germinate out, are ready to pounce out, that essentially they are in the subtle form, or now want to express it, because the jivas have to express those karmas that I have done in the past cycle of creation. So therefore that becomes a cause for the plurality. So Ishvara, who is the Brahman with the Maya Shakti. So Maya Shakti is coming from the all karmas put together in a potential form, that's called vasanas of all beings put together, is the very cause of the Maya, or very source of Maya, or Maya itself. And that becomes a Upadi for Brahman, reflecting in that Maya is called Ishvara. And that Ishvara, using Maya Shakti, projects, because he has a capacity to do it. So he is not only the material cause, he is the intelligent cause also. So that existent consciousness itself became many. So Sadatmakam, so it is just gold became many. So gold became many as the vivarta, that means without undergoing any modification itself. Infinite cannot undergo any modification because it's not finite. Therefore, without undergoing any modification, it appears as though varieties of names and forms. That's what is called this idam jagat. So sadatmakam. So essence of every object is nothing but existence alone, because it came from existence and sustained by existence and goes back into existence only. So every ornament came from gold. If I say gold ornaments, we are talking about gold. It came from gold, sustained by gold, and goes back. So becoming is involved in material cause. Gold became ornaments. Goldsmith doesn't become ornaments. So intelligent cause is not specified here, because we are talking about karanam is upadana karanam, which is Brahman only, according to both the scriptures and both, which is agreed upon by both Advaita as well as Vishishta Advaita, where the Brahman itself is the material cause for the creation. So sadatmakam idam. So therefore essence of idam, that means every object that I see is nothing but sadatmakam, existence itself. So what does that existence itself mean? Sadatmakam, if you take at I'm showing you the watch here, says what is this? This is a watch. So this is a name for a form that we call it a watch, and it has a function, and it can do something that I want. That is, it can tell me time, and it keeps showing my time anytime I need, as long as it's working. So what you say, this is a existing watch. I'm not showing non-existent watch. So every object that I see has to be there. So every object, we say there is watch, there is a chair, there is a tree, there is a mosquito, there is a human being. So if we say there is, that isness aspect of the object is the existence aspect, and isness has no qualifications, but it's a pure existence. So if I look at the watch, so I ask, where is the existence? Does a watch exist? Of course its watch exists, because if it doesn't exist, I can't even see. So the very fact that I can see means it has to exist. And where exactly is the existence in the watch? What do you mean where exactly existence? Existence is everywhere, because every part exists. So every nook, everywhere, just as I am looking at the pot, where is the clay here? Every part, abhitaha, that means all over, nothing but clay only. So all over the watch, existence is there. Is existence a part of the watch? What do you mean part of the watch? Existence, when is all over, it cannot be any part. You see, everything of the watch has to exist. Therefore, it pervades the whole watch. Is it a property of the watch? So it cannot be property of the watch itself also. It is because of which watch exists, without which watch doesn't exist. So existence cannot have any properties. Why? Because if you say this is a watch, it exists. What about the space around the watch? It exists too. So therefore existence is not a property of this watch or the property of the space that is surrounding the watch and the hand that is holding it. So existence is neither a part and it cannot be parted. But without the existence, the watch cannot exist, because when say watch is, we are talking about its existence. So existence is that which lends the existence to every object in the world, because every object exists, and non-existent objects we cannot say. So we cannot say Vanja Putraha exists. That means the son of a barren woman is existing is a wrong statement, because it cannot exist. It is logically contradiction. Therefore, such objects are asat, means non-existent anytime, and that is the non-existence. So existence of an object is due to the existence itself. So every time I say there is something, there is a moon, there is a star, there are galaxies, so and anything that you say exists is because of the very existence pervade the object. Number one, existence is not a part and property of or product of the object. Existence lends its existence to every object, and even when the watch is removed, existence still there, because in there where the space is, the existence still exists. So I cannot remove the existence away from anything, because it pervades everything, including the names and forms in between also. So that existence, even if the object is removed, existence still remains, and that existence is what essentially Sri Sadatmakam Idam is the essence of the whole universe. But I don't see existence, I'm seeing only watch, because my eyes are not able to see existence, because existence is infinite, so it cannot be seen. But at the same time, without the existence, the object cannot exist. Therefore, it is imperceptible. Therefore, Brahman is imperceptible. Therefore, one cannot see it. Therefore, just because I don't see it, I cannot deny it, because that's what the scripture says. It is pure existence, and not only its pure existence, it is of the nature of consciousness. That's what Chandogya Upanishad says. So someone asked me, how come I don't see consciousness? If consciousness is infinite, I should see consciousness. Yes, consciousness is infinite, but for me to see or for me to express consciousness, the equipment should be conducive to express consciousness. So we have three aspects: Sat, Chit, Ananda, that we have done before. It says every object expresses this Sat, Chit, Ananda aspects depending upon the quality of the object. And simple example I gave is essentially that we are all familiar is the white light. White light is nothing but consists of 7 colors, the Vibgayar or Vibjayar. So there are 7 colors are constituting the white light. Now when I look at the object, and if I see object is white, it only means that all the white light falling on the object getting reflected completely without any of those components of the white light getting absorbed. That's the theory of light, theory of colors. So therefore a white object reflects everything. Therefore I see the whole 7, therefore I see as oneness, that is white light. If I say a red object there and a green object there and a blue object, so all it means is white light falling there. In the red object, everything except red is absorbed, and in the blue object, everything except blue is absorbed, and in the violet object, everything except violet is absorbed. So which means whatever that is not absorbed is reflected to me, and therefore I am seeing one red, one blue and one violet. So it is the one pure Satchidananda or 7 colors that are falling on it, but only depending upon the medium I am getting reflection. The reflection depends upon the capacity of the object. In the case of the colors, the object has a capacity to absorb everything other than the red, therefore object appears as red. The other object appears blue because it has a capacity to observe all except the blue. So every color that I see is depending upon not the white light. White light is still, all these components are there, but yet I am only seeing one or other or mixture of those lights depending upon the capacity of the reflecting medium. Same way, depending on the reflecting medium, even though Satchidananda aspects of the Brahman is everywhere, both the Sat aspect and the Chit aspect and Ananda aspect, depending on the medium of reflection, only one shows up. So all inert object, there is no consciousness, only the existent part is being shown up. Therefore I say it is an existent but not conscious, because consciousness is being not shown and neither Ananda is shown. So only I say it is existing inert object. So in the case of a subtle body, not only the existent but consciousness is also reflected. Therefore it is existent conscious entity. So when I say I say I am existent but I am conscious. But Ananda part is not reflected because I am always worried all the time, because my mind is not Nischalam, is not calm and quiet to reflect the Ananda also. So for Anandamaya Kosha to come out, I need to have a mind, not only so Sat Chit, but Ananda also will get reflected only when the instrument is, the subtle body is calm and quiet and serene, and then only it gets reflected. So Anandamaya comes reflected in the deep sleep state only because the mind is agitationless, because it's folded as though, therefore it's calm and quiet since it's sleeping, therefore only Ananda is getting reflected there. But there is no knowledge also there, and that's because the mind that needs to know is not there. If the mind is there, the fellow is not sleeping. So therefore he starts getting agitation because he doesn't know how to quieten the mind when the mind is active. So that's what is the meditation is. So we have to understand now that Sadatmakam, existent part alone, is being reflected all over, because not because the conscious is not all over or Ananda is not all over, only because the instrument is not capable to reflect the consciousness and the Ananda Swarupam. Therefore, depending on the reflecting medium, reflection occurs here. So, Atmakam idam sanmatram eva akilam. Akilam sanmatram eva. Akilam is nothing but pure consciousness alone. And this is what Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi starts with Saddarshanam. Satpratyaya kinnu vihaya santam. The very first line itself is exactly same statement. Satpratyaya kinnu vihaya santam. So santam vihaya satpratyaya kinnu bhaved. So bhaved we have to assume there. So it means without the principle of existence, where can there be existence of anything? So anything can exist only because Sadatmakam has to be there. Essence of everything is nothing but Sat. That Uddalaka says that I said was there before creation, and that is what is being addressed in the Tat Tvam Asi statement. We'll go into more details of this after this in the next talk. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.